Blake, thanks for taking the time to join me today in what must be an extremely busy time for you, obviously in the lead up to the IPO. Now, firstly, before we dive into NMR's projects, can you give us some background on your extensive career in the mining sector? And what was the attraction to build your own resources company with NMR?
Thanks, Alex. This has been a very busy time for us. So the staff are working extremely hard, obviously to meet all the dates for the IPO, but we're right on track, which is fantastic. Background on myself, well, I started in Lihir, so that was a 1 million ounce upgrade. So that was a gold project in Papua New Guinea. From there, I moved to FMG, and I was lucky enough to work very closely with Andrew Forrest, and I was project director on Solomon. That was a $6 billion iron ore project, 60 million tonnes, and learnt a lot from the FMG way. So basically, any challenges, you had to find an outcome to overcome those. Moving along, worked for Aquila, and Aquila had the West Pilbara Iron Ore Project, and that was basically sold off to Bayo Steel. So Bayo Steel acquired that particular portion of Aquila's ownership, and then moved on to Oz Minerals, and I worked with Oz Minerals on the bankable feasibility for Carrapateena. So that's a copper and gold project down in South Australia. Very big project, again, very modern thinking company, and learn a lot from all of those previous companies to basically put together what I saw as a perfect opportunity for ourselves with NMR. NMR was an inception that basically I looked at what commodity would be in demand in the future, and I came up with basically copper and gold. And the reason for that is renewables was really starting to take off, and the major component in all renewables is copper. So that was the main driver for looking to start NMR, and then the main driver for the commodity was looking for a tenement that would accommodate copper and gold, and I landed on the large tenements that I've got up in Queensland.
So when did you start Native Mineral Resources, and what projects currently make up your portfolio?
Native Mineral Resources was formed in April 2018 with a view to explore some ground highly prospective in the gold and copper mineralisation of far north Queensland. NMR currently holds 1,820 kilometres of tenements, approximately 200 kilometres northwest of Cairns in North Queensland. Palmerville, which is predominantly the area that we're in, is located along a recognised mineral belt. We've secured a strike length of 130 kilometres of very prospective ground, and we'll be aggressively exploring, and exploration will start there in November.
Thanks, Blake. So I'd like to zero in on the Palmerville project that you've mentioned there. Can you talk us through what exploration has been done previously on the area, and what are the early indications?
So predominantly the area has not had a lot of exploration done recently. There was a lot of exploration done years ago, but not to the extent that we can actually use technology today. There's some very, very good historical mines there like Red Dome and Mungana and King Vole. And from the information we got from those particular mines that were operating, we really came to the decision that there would be some untapped resources within this area. And that's why we really concentrated so strongly on these particular areas.
Now, shifting focus to your WA project, what can you tell us about the Arkuna Gold Project near Kalgoorlie? And what are your initial exploration plans for this project?
So this is a really exciting area for us. We see some opportunities to have some geological and structural settings and potentially, hopefully, that we can look at some really good results. There's been a lot of very, very good results in these particular areas. Again, it's not highly explored in these particular tenements that we've got, and that's why we've targeted them, because I think if you're going to areas that have been highly explored, you're ending up with basically the crumbs of what's left. With these two particular tenements that we've got, we're looking at some really positive areas that have been underexplored.
Thanks, Blake. And just finally, for those who are interested in the IPO, can you provide some details on what the offer would be like, and when do you expect to ring the bell?
Yep, the prospectus is now live, and potential investors can download this from our NMR website. Minimum requirement is $2,000 at 20 cents a share. We're looking to raise a maximum of $6 million. Subject to ASX final check, we're looking to ring the bell late October.
Blake, NMR certainly looks like an exciting opportunity for investors, and we look forward to speaking to you again in the coming weeks. Thanks very much for joining us today, and all the best.
Thank you so much for your time.